Hello, New York Giants fans, and welcome to a new edition of the Valentine's Views podcast here on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Your New York Giants face the NFC East leading Washington Commanders on Sunday, and today I'm simply going to give you my pick for the game, a couple of bold predictions, few thoughts on Sunday afternoon, as we get ready for Week 9 of the Giants 2024 NFL season. All right, in terms of predictions at Big Blue View this week, we always do our weekly staff predictions. 4 out of the 6 staff members who are picking the game this week are picking the Giants, 3.5-point underdogs per FanDuel Sportsbook, SB Nation partner, to pull off the upset on Sunday at MetLife Stadium. And I'll just be upfront about it. I am not one of the 4 who's picking the New York Giants to win the game. I do believe that, as a lot of the Giants games have been this year, I do believe this is a winnable game for the Giants. I do believe it is a game they could come away from with their first victory of the season at MetLife Stadium. Giants, an unbelievable, unfortunate 0-4 in front of the home crowd so far this season. I think that there are some factors working in favor of the Giants, but I've thought this before, and I keep thinking, and I've even going back to last year at times, I keep thinking that this team is better than its record indicates. I keep thinking that there is a breakthrough game coming. I thought maybe that was coming in week 2 against the Commanders. I thought maybe it was coming in week 1 against the Vikings. I thought perhaps it was coming against the Dallas Cowboys in week 4. The Giants came close in that game, but couldn't find a way to win it. I thought maybe things were turning around for the Giants after they went to Seattle and beat the Seahawks in very impressive fashion without Malik Neighbors, in front of a hostile crowd, putting up a season-high 29 points. And yet here we are after that game, having watched the Giants lose 3 consecutive games, play horrible offense in the process. Again, I thought, on the prime time game against the Cincinnati Bengals, I thought was a perfect opportunity for the Giants. And they could only score 7 points in a 17-7 loss. I thought the game the other night against Pittsburgh was an opportunity for the Giants. And again, they got close, but couldn't seal the deal, couldn't pull off the upset. So I keep looking at these games, and oftentimes I'll pick the game looking for a breakthrough, expecting a breakthrough, predicting the breakthrough. And I think there could be a breakthrough Sunday against the Commanders. But I'm not going to pick that to happen. I just can't. The Commanders are a team with their quarterback of the future in Jaden Daniels, with a new head coach, with a lot of positive vibes around their franchise right now, with a positive outlook on their future, no matter what happens the remainder of the 2024 season. The Giants are plain and simply a team that, as I've said, many, many times at this point, they're 2-6. They're spinning their wheels right now with their current quarterback situation. If and when they make a change at quarterback, that's really going to just be, whatever to get them through the rest of this season. The quarterback of the future is not on the New York Giants roster at this point in time. They're basically biding their time until they get to the offseason and make a quarterback change and try to begin to move forward in a Daniel Jones less future. So I can't predict that breakthrough to come at this point in time. I've been burned too many times by doing that. So I am going to be one of the two at Big Blue View who go with the Washington Commanders to win this football game on Sunday, sending the Giants to a very unfortunate 2-7 record. Now, the flip side of that is the the Washington Post reached out to me this week to participate in a 3 questions segment as part of their Commanders Giants game guide. One of their questions to me was to make bold predictions for Sunday. And my bold prediction for the Post was this: the New York Giants are averaging 7.75 points per game at MetLife Stadium in 4 games this year. They've scored 31 points. They have 1 touchdown at MetLife Stadium. Daniel Jones has not thrown a touchdown pass at MetLife Stadium since the final game of the 2022 regular season. And that's a little bit unfair because Jones only played in 6 games last year, only a few of those at home. So he didn't play a full season, but he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass at MetLife Stadium in 4 games at home so far this season. Giants are 0-4 in their home games so far this year. My bold prediction is one, or at least one of my 2 bold predictions, the one that I gave the Post, and I'm also going to give you one more. My bold prediction that I gave to the Post is that we're going to see an offensive explosion from the New York Giants on Sunday. The Commanders don't have the edge rushing duo that the Pittsburgh Steelers had, duo in Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt, that just dominated the Giants tackles on Monday night. I think we could see the Giants, who, as I said, have scored 31 points at home this season. I think we could see the Giants put up 27 points, maybe more. I think Daniel Jones could throw 2 or 3 touchdown passes in that offensive explosion. So my bold prediction for the day is a New York Giants offensive explosion, 27 points or more, couple of touchdown passes from Daniel Jones. And that, quite honestly, could lead to blowing up my game pick of the Commanders, but so be it. That would be my bold prediction. My other bold prediction for Sunday is that the Giants, probably Tay Banks, gets an interception of Jaden Daniels on Sunday. Tay Banks, much maligned over the last couple of weeks, a very talented young man, but I don't know if Tay Banks really and truly understands the work ethic that it takes to be an NFL player at this point in time. I think that is what the Giants are attempting to drive home to Tay Banks, is that if he's going to maximize the immense talent that he has, the immense physical tools that he has, that there is work that needs to be done off the field, away from the stadium. There's film study that needs to be done. All of those kinds of things that separate the best players in the NFL from talented ones who don't quite ever reach their maximum potential. I do believe that is what the Giants are trying to get across to Tay Banks at this point in time. And my second bold prediction would be that Tay Banks comes up with an interception on Sunday, and that the Giants, who don't have an interception from a defensive back this year, the only interception they have is from rookie linebacker Darius Muasau on a tipped pass in week 1. That 7-game stretch is a franchise record for games without an interception. So I would say second bold prediction is that the Giants get a couple of interceptions from Jaden Daniels and the Commanders on Sunday. But again, as I said, I'm going into the game thinking that the Commanders are going to win. But in terms of bold predictions, offensive explosion, couple of turnovers would be the path for the Giants to pull off an upset of the Commanders on Sunday. And by the way, considering recent history, it certainly seems weird to call a Giants victory over the Commanders an upset, but that is indeed what it would be at this point in time. Before I sign off, I just wanted to quickly congratulate former New York Giants coach Tom Coughlin on being named a semifinalist for the coach category in the selection process for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Coughlin certainly deserves to be a Hall of Famer. This will be the second year in a row that Coughlin is a semifinalist. He's one of 9 semifinalists for that honor. And the way that the Hall of Fame voting works for pro football is there will only be one coach who is eligible to be voted on by the full selection committee as a finalist for the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. Coughlin is one of 9, including Mike Shanahan, who's won 2 Super Bowls, George Seifert, who's won 2 Super Bowls. Dan Reeves is in that category. Mike Holmgren is in there. Dan Reeves, Marty Schottenheimer, among the candidates. So, Coughlin is no shoe-in to be that single nominee that goes before the full selection committee. I think that in addition to his 2 Super Bowls with the Giants, his work in building and establishing the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise, being their first head coach, getting them to the playoffs as an expansion team, I think that's a factor as well, and maybe that would tilt the scales in his favor. But Coughlin is no lock to get that nomination from the committee this year. That'll come later in November. I think November 19th is when the single finalist will be announced. But good luck to Coach Coughlin. Certainly deserving to be a semifinalist, deserving to be that single nominee that goes before the full selection committee, and deserving of a place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame if and when he finally gets one. It quite honestly would be kind of cool to see Coughlin and Eli Manning, who is eligible for the Hall of Fame for the first time in 2025, and whose selection process is going to be fascinating to watch, because we know that Eli is a divisive figure among football fans and Hall of Fame voters. But it certainly would be cool, whether it happens this year, next year, whenever it happens, certainly would be cool to see Coughlin and Manning go into the Hall of Fame in the same class. And that is indeed a possibility. But anyway, congratulations to Coach Coughlin on this latest step that moves him just a little bit closer to the possibility of becoming a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Anyway, Giants fans, that's the show for today. Thank you, as always, for the support. Please remember, like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.